Hello everyone and welcome back to another Marvel Champions video. Today Fantasy Flight did a stream that was basically captured by the Hall of Heroes. All the cards I'm going to be talking about today are up on the Hall of Heroes website. There'll be a link to check them out in the description. They showed off some more cards for Quicksilver. So some of this we've already seen in a previous video, but I'm going to go through them again just really quickly, and then we're going to move into a bunch of new cards that were revealed as well. So here we have Pietro Maximoff. He has a hand size of 6 with 9 hit points, 3 recovery. He's a civilian and has the superpowered siblings action. So as an action, discard 2 cards from your hand to draw 2 cards or draw 3 cards instead if Wanda Maximoff is in play. Limit once per round. So basically, if you have Scarlet Witch, you're going to be able to get more card draw. Now, I don't know if that means they both have to be on their alter ego side to do that, because once you flip him over, he'll become Quicksilver, and once you flip over Wanda, she'll become Scarlet Witch. So if you have one of them on the hero side and one of them on the alter ego side, I don't think that would work because it's specifically naming Wanda Maximoff. It's not naming Scarlet Witch. So I think you would both. I'm thinking you're both going to have to be in alter ego mode to get that extra card draw. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I think there'll probably be like a rules clarification once these sets come out. I don't believe these sets are coming out simultaneously, which I think if they do, that'd be cool if they actually release them at the same time, so you can basically make use of this ability right away instead of having to wait like a month. Because usually every month we're getting a new set or a new product. I think we're actually getting 2 in September. So we got Rise of Red Skull, and I think the Kang scenario pack is supposed to be coming out in a couple weeks. But so we're gonna have to wait and see about if they're going to release Quicksilver and then Scarlet Witch, or they're going to release them simultaneously. I'm hoping that they get released simultaneously, so then if you're playing a two-player game, you can have somebody going as Quicksilver, somebody going as Scarlet Witch, and then you'll be able to make use of this ability to get a little bit of extra card draw if you're pairing him up with Scarlet Witch. So that is Pietro Maximoff. We're going to move into our next card. Next up here we have Quicksilver. So this is the obviously the hero side here. So Quicksilver, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense. Hand size goes down to 5, 9 hit points still. An Avenger, so he's got the Avenger trait and has the super speed. So as a response, after you use one of his basic powers, thwart, attack, or defense, ready him, limit once per phase. That feels like really thematic. Like basically he's going to come in and thwart twice or hit you twice, or you can thwart and then also attack. Also, the cool thing is it works with defense as well, so you can defend and then ready him if you haven't done it. If you haven't used that ability that round yet, ready him and then have him be ready to go for the next hero phase. So normally when you exhaust a hero to defend, you're not going to be able to thwart or attack with them unless you have some other way to ready them. I like that he can basically defend and then just ready himself with this ability, or you can again use it to get off 2 thwarts or 2 attacks or 1 of each. So that is Quicksilver. We're going to move into our next card. Our next card is Always Be Running. So 1 cost event. Generates an energy resource when you discard it. It's a superpower. And it's an action, ready Quicksilver. So Quicksilver looks like he can ready himself with his own ability, and then also has this card, which lets you pay a resource and then ready him as well. So you could potentially, with his action, basically like you could attack of him, exhaust him, use his ability to ready him, attack of him again, play Always Be Running, and then ready him again as well. So this could basically make him potentially do quite a bit of damage in a very quick amount of time, because that's his whole theme is he's very fast. So that is Always Be Running. We're going to move into our next card here. And our we have here is Warlock. This is one of his allies, so 3 costs. It's a protection card, so it's green. Generates a physical resource when you discard it. 1 thwart, 1 attack with 1 incidental damage each. Comes in with 3 hit points. He's an X Factor. And as an action, spend a mental resource to heal up to 2 damage from Warlock. So without healing him, he'll be able to get off either 3 attacks or 3 thwarts, or 2 of one of the other. That's provided he doesn't take any damage from other like villain events and things like that, or stuff in the encounter deck, or if he doesn't block any damage from attacks. But if you do spend that resource, you can heal up to 2 damage and keep him around. So that's pretty good. So we're gonna move into the cards. These are cards that were currently already revealed. We're now gonna switch over and look at the cards that were revealed just today. So we have a few more cards to look at from the Quicksilver deck, and we'll be right back with those. All right, and we are now back with the cards that were revealed just today. So first up, we have Hyper Perception. It's a 2-cost upgrade. Generates a mental resource when you discard it. It's part of Quicksilver's like character deck, so the cards that you do have to include when you build a Quicksilver deck. It's a condition and also a superpower, and it's Quicksilver gets +1 thwart. So he has 1 thwart to start. You basically pay two resources, and then you get a permanent +1 thwart as long as this card is attached to Quicksilver. So that is pretty good. I like the artwork. Basically, he's going to go up there and potentially maybe grab that arrow, maybe stop it from hitting somebody or something like that. But 1 thwart, so that'll bring us thwart up to 2. And then again, with something like Always Be Running or his own ability, he can then potentially thwart even more by, like readying him or like using his power to ready him, exhausting him to thwart, use Always Be Running that event, play that to ready him again, and so on. So that is the hyper perception. We're going to move into our next card. Our next card is Maximum Velocity. This is probably my favorite card that they revealed for him today. So, 2-cost event. It generates a physical resource when you discard it. It's a superpower. Max 1 per phase. Hero action. You get +2 thwart, +2 attack, and +2 defense until the end of the round. To me, that's huge if you could use this basically he gets +2 of everything basically. So he instead of becoming a 1/1/1, he becomes a 3/3/3. So eventually you can attack for 3, use his ability, ready him, attack for 3 again. And then again, if you have Always Be Running, ready him again and attack again. So you can potentially get off remove 9 threat. You could do 9 damage. Or then if you use it for defense, you basically be able to get that extra defense as well. And if you haven't used his ability and you defend, you'd be defending for 3 essentially. And then if you haven't used his ability that round, you can then use his just ability to ready him after that. So I think a lot of what Quicksilver is going to be really good at is basically using that ability to ready him after using a basic action. So one of his either attack, thwart, or defend, and then just having him ready to go, ready to attack, ready to thwart, or ready to defend again. So that is Maximum Velocity. This is probably my favorite card that they've revealed so far, at least today. So that's that. We're gonna move into our next card. Next up, we have Serval Industries. It's a 1-cost support. Generates a mental resource when you discard it. It's a location. It's also X Factor. And as an alter ego action, exhaust it to shuffle 2 Quicksilver cards from your discard pile into your deck. So again, you can basically exhaust it to get back and Always Be Running, or get back the last card we looked at, and all that. So a lot of these characters now are getting these cool kind of like alter ego like locations. Like Spider Woman got her apartment. Captain America has his apartment. That is a so if you flip back to alter ego mode to recover, you can then if you have this in play or you then play it, you then get back some of those Quicksilver events. So that is pretty cool. We're gonna move into our next card. Next up, we have United We Stand. This is just a leadership card, so it can go into any deck. It's a 0-cost event. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait, and as a hero action, heal 1 damage from up to X friendly characters to a maximum of 3, where X is equal to the villain's stage number. And what I think that means by the stage number is if you're playing, like usually villains go stage 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. Usually you only play stage 1 and stage 2 unless you're playing expert mode where you swap out to stage 3. It makes it a little bit harder. So basically if it's on stage 2, the villain's on stage 2 for example, you play this, you then heal 1 damage to up to 2 characters. So basically depending on what stage it's on, you're going to play this and then heal damage equal to the stage number. So stage 1, you can heal 1 damage, to up to how many characters? Up to 1 character at stage 1, 2 characters at stage 2, 3 characters at stage 3. So it could be a cool way to basically, if you have a bunch of allies out that have taken damage, or maybe your character's taken damage, you play this, and then based on the stage number, you're going to heal 1 damage to that many characters. So that is United We Stand, and we're going to go into our final card here for today. So our final card is actually Quicksilver's Nemesis, so it's Avalanche. He's a minion, 1 scheme, 2 attack, comes in with 4 health. Has Insight 2. So Insight started showing up basically in Rise of Red Skull, and when it gets revealed, you place that much threat on the main scheme. So in this case, it's 2 threat because it's Insight and then the number. So if it's Insight 1, it's 1 threat. Insight 2, you're going to place 2 threat. And then when it's revealed, each player must choose to either take 2 indirect damage or exhaust their identity. So indirect damage is damage you can kind of spread around between your hero or your minions, or not your minions, your allies. So basically, if he comes in, I can basically put all the damage, all that indirect damage on an ally of mine. I can take it on myself. But he does come in with 4 health. We don't know what his little side scheme is going to be, or what his other his treachery cards are going to be yet either. So we've only seen him so far, but basically a 1 scheme, 2 attack, puts 2 threat on right away, and then basically it does 2 indirect damage as well. So that is going to do for this video, and this is just more cards for Quicksilver. Just a quick update on my Rise of Red Skull campaign. I was actually able to complete the campaign. I think at last I had beaten, the last time we did a video, I think I had beat Taskmaster. So I went through Zola's encounter and was able to clear off the Hydra prison plot or scheme, which basically takes one of your, I think it basically takes your ally, your signature ally for your deck, and puts it under that prison. So for me, I was playing Captain America, so it basically takes Agent 13, puts her in that prison, and then I believe the number of threat that gets put on there is equal to the cost of the resource cost of the ally. So that came in with 3 threat. At that point, I had the upgraded thwart, so I took the one that gave Captain America +1 thwart and 2 additional hit points. So I was able to basically thwart for 3, clear off the plot, get Agent 13 back, and then I was able to beat Zola fairly easily. And then next up was Red Skull, which he has 2 main plots. So basically, the first one triggers at 8 threat per player. The second one triggers, I think, at 11 threat per player. And I had put 8. I had 8 delay counters when I fought Absorbing Man, because like there's basically certain stages of the campaign will have effects later on, and whenever each round you play against Absorbing Man, you add 1 counter, one like generic counter to his plot. It's called a delay counter, and basically it's like he's there to kind of like delay the Avengers from finishing their mission, basically. So I had 8 of those delay counters on his plot. So I wrote that down in the campaign book. And then when you get to Red Skull, you place that many threat points onto the scheme, where that was the number of delay counters, and I had 8. So that scheme triggered right away. And then I had to go into the main scheme, which was basically triggered at 11. And Red Skull actually has like a unique thing where he's got a whole deck of just side schemes. So basically every turn like a new side scheme is coming out. Luckily, those side schemes don't take that much. The threat doesn't go that high. They do have accelerators on them. Some of them do have things like that. But I was able to constantly thwart with Captain America to clear off those side schemes. And back to Zola for just one moment is if you beat Zola without clearing off the prison side scheme, those allies that were underneath the prison side scheme can't be used in the next game. So that's kind of, I still wanted Agent 13 because Agent 13 has a pretty cool ability. When you play her, you get to remove some threat off of the scheme. So I kind of wanted that going in against Red Skull. So I got rid of that. And then when you beat Zola, instead, if the Hydra prison side scheme has been defeated or you've beaten it, you flip over your upgrade card that you took earlier in the game to its improved side. So they're double sided. So the one I took was improved thwart, which was +1 thwart, +2 health. But then if you beat get rid of that side scheme, you flip it over to the improved side, which is still 1 +1 thwart, +2 health. But then whenever you defeat a side scheme, you can exhaust that upgrade card to draw a card. So that helped me get through my deck and get into my bigger kind of stun cards because I was able to stun Red Skull a couple times. I was able to basically beat him fairly easily. I think I had maybe like 6 or 7 threat on the main scheme once I actually defeated the Red Skull in his second stage. So that was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the next campaign, which I think is supposed to be Guardians of the Galaxy. They haven't revealed a whole lot about that yet. We know we're getting Rocket, we're getting Groot. I think we're getting Ronan the Accuser and the Collector at least. We don't know what other villains we're going to get because it might be like maybe there's going to be 5 more villains. I would imagine if they're following the exact format for Rise of Red Skull, it was basically 2 new heroes again, Rocket and Groot for that one, and then 5 new scenarios. And we already know we're getting Ronan and the Collector. But the Kang the Conqueror deck, I believe, is coming out fairly soon. Um, that's a scenario pack, so that's gonna be another villain. That one looks kind of weird because I know like he does a whole lot of stuff with like time manipulation and time travel, to where there's like characters are fighting in like different zones, which I guess are maybe different periods of time. I'm not sure if they're different time periods or what, but you're fighting in those different zones, and once you beat that zone, you get to move to a different zone. And then there's a thing where Kang can also pull back side schemes that you defeated, and you get to have to deal with those side schemes again. So that'll be out in a couple weeks. I'll probably do I'll probably try to play it and do like a mini review of it. But that's gonna do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching, and take care.